Good morning, everybody. I am hopping on here live for our weekly challenge hour live. I'm just going to double check that I'm showing up. If you are on, definitely say hello. So I see you. I'm trying to get to my page here so I can make sure I made it on. Looks like I did. Perfect. I hope you guys have a warm cup of coffee or cocoa this morning. It seemed chillier than today and yesterday. But if you don't know, my name is Ashley Rulig, and I am a Creative Memories Advisor. I know a lot of you know me well, and so I just like to say my name because I do post these on YouTube and, kind of share with people what I'm doing on there too, who might not know me as well. So I'm trying to get all level with the camera here. Whenever I look at my computer, it's always different than the screen above me. So hopefully you guys can see everything okay. I'm not crooked this way. But yeah, if you guys are on, go ahead and say hello. Today we're working on a sketch from the August Creative Memories Virtual Crop, number 3 of that. I'm going to try to fix my camera a little bit more. It seems crooked. Not sure why. Technology's fun sometimes. I'm going to go a little more this way. Okay, hope that doesn't drive you guys nuts too much. There we go, that's a little better. Okay. Yes, so as you guys are getting ready, I am going to be using a border punch today. It's the mountain one. So I know there's a few versions of this one. I don't remember what this one's called. I think this is like Alpine Mountain or something like that. It's one with a snowy top. So I'm going to be using that for our Expedition Everest fun. This isn't quite the ride yet. We just took pictures in front of it as a family. We did the ride later on another day in Animal Kingdom. So I'm just going to I'm going to scrap some pictures of that today. And I'm using the Copper Canyon collection. And this was part of the first secret box this year from Creative Memories. This one like knocked it out of the park. I love this collection. I've used it over and over. And I even ordered it again when it was available again to advisors. So I'm going to be using that today. Let's see. Did want to go through some announcements with you guys, nothing major, while you guys are hopping on and getting ready. So if you don't know, and you probably do know, Black Friday is happening at Creative Memories right now, and there are some pretty awesome bundles available. I'm pulling up a picture right now for you. Make that bigger. Perfect. So right now, if you order $150, you get to pick one of these bundles for free. So there's like the snowy one, it's the Enchanted Snow Globe. There is a baking one that's called Cookie Exchange, and then there's a Christmas on the Coast bundle. And I just heard this one is running low, the Christmas on the Coast. So if you want in on that one, definitely jump on and put in a $150 order or more before it runs out. So if you haven't been able to take advantage of this yet, and this promotion is supposed to last through November 22nd. However, it has never made it to the deadline each year just because CM is really good at what they do and enticing people with their awesome, beautiful collections. So if there's anything you have your eye on, go ahead and hop on and do that sooner than later. Another thing I want to let you guys know about, I am hosting my monthly Scrap Together Live next week, the 20th. I can't believe it. Next week's the 20th. I can't believe today's the 13th. Like, that's nuts. And that's in the evenings at 7 p.m. So, and that will be in the same spots you are now. I'll be going live. And the purpose of those is to just scrap together your life. And so it's in the evening where more people can hopefully join. And we are going to go through 8x8. So last year I made 5 8x8 albums for Christmas. I gave one to each of my, my parents, my grandparents, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and one to my friend last Christmas. And I was able to do 5 because there's this awesome recipe that Noreen Smith has come out with that she shared a couple years ago, I believe, that I'm going to walk through with you. So if you want in on that, this is a great time to get the supplies you need, especially with that Black Friday bundle thing going on. So what you will need are 8x8 pages and protectors. Make sure it's the pages and protectors. You could do the top loaders or side loader. I think they're side loaders as well, but it's just easier to do it right on the page for 8x8s because then you know you know, what order you're going in and everything. Otherwise you'll have to get 8x8 little papers as your bases. So you'll have to cut some, I guess. So you'll want 8x8 pages and protectors. You'll need an 8x8 album of some sort to put all your pages in once you're done. You'll need a 12x12 pack of paper. So you can pick whatever theme you want. Like I went with a generic, I think it was Our Moments paper last year for a lot of them. And then like my friend, I did like orangey and purples, so because she's into that. And so you can kind of pick and choose, and then you want like coordinating embellishments and stickers to help decorate that a little bit. So now's the time to get on that, because I will be doing that class a week from today, so you want to order it sooner than later so you get it here in time. And that's free. That class is free. You can just hop on and watch me live. I will post it on YouTube as well after the fact. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. And then Scrappy Winter Camp is starting up January 4th. It does go until March 15th, I realized that March 9th, the date I've been telling you, is when you'll get week 10. And you'll get another week to finish week 10. So that dates are a little further out than I thought, but it'll be done before spring break still. So it's just something fun to do during winter. You can get some pages done. Cost is $45, and you get a whole thing of goodies. You get access to prizes. You get your own private Facebook group that we all join and have fun in. I do deals. I do all kinds of stuff. So it's so worth it. If you ask anyone, they love Scrappy Camp, so I would love to have you. And deadline to sign up for that is December 15th. So you got about a month to sign up for that. So just want to give you guys some heads up about those. And I think that's it. I'm going to hop right in to our project now. So like I said, we are working on the August 3rd, like the third virtual crop, August this year, the third challenge of that. I'm trying to get through those, so I'm making those my challenges right now. So we are going to start, and I have my papers already picked out here. Like I said, I'm doing Copper Canyon. So it's a 2-page spread. So I'm going to have to make myself some room here. I put some embellishments in here that I thought would work as well. So I'm going to set those aside for now. Got my mountain punch I'm going to use. Tape runners, and of course we'll be using our trimmers. So all the necessities are here. All right, I'll set my pictures aside for now as well. So we're going to start with our bases, and for my bases I am actually doing these kind of ombre looking, I don't know if that's ombre, it's just like a color changing kind of page. Sorry, my sleeve keeps getting stuck here. That way when I go to do this, I'm not necessarily making this bottom cut here, because this blue is going to kind of serve as that border. So I'm not going to really do a separate piece of paper for that. You can. So just take note that I'm not cutting that out. One of my goals when I do these sketches, I want to show you guys other ways to think outside the box. You don't have to do verbatim of a sketch. You can kind of improvise. If you don't have the right size photos too, I'll show you guys all about that as well. You can use mats, whatever. And then for my border, I'm going to use the mountain punch. I don't know what I'm going to use up here yet. I haven't quite decided. I'm kind of flying off the cuff here. And then I also have my white. This is a Shimmer brush pen. I thought I would punch my mountains out on brown and then like brush the snow on top. So kind of like in the picture, you can see the white caps of the mountain on there from Everest. I'm going to get a little creative, I think, when we use this today. I love brush pens, or the Shimmer brush pens. I think they are amazing, and I like to paint with them. So, sorry, I just realized my table is hitting my tripod, so that's going to be annoying. Sorry. And so I want to play with that a little bit and show you guys kind of how I use those. So I'm using some coordinating paper here. So I think I'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by cutting the center strip out here. These are 11.5 by 5.5, so I get to use one piece of paper for that. And I'm going to use this lighter, not this side, I love this side, that one I think it's going to clash too much with that, but I'm going to use this kind of greeny looking page. I'm going to kind of just cut that in half. So I will have just one page I need to use for that, and then I'm going to mat and cut mountains out on this one. So here we go. I'm going to get my trimmer. Again, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize my tripod was touching the table, so it's probably going to move a little bit. My apologies. It's too late to move it now, so it'll drive me more crazy if I try to move it. Okay, so we're cutting this at 5.5. So we will have a little left over. It's not quite in half, but it's at 5.5. So now on the trimmer, the 5.5 kind of runs into this divot here. So when I go to do my 5.5, I just plan on this line where it comes there to be my 5.5. So right on the line there, a little crack in it. It's kind of an inconvenient place to have a 5.5, but I mean, it's got to land somewhere. So there we go. And as long as you do it the same for the next one, you're fine. Okay. So I'll have this little strip left. I'm going to set that aside. And then the paper is supposed to go 11.5 long. So I'm going to go ahead, go to 11.5, and I'm just going to cut a little 1/2 inch off, like so. I could have done these at the same time. The trimmer is very good at cutting through more than one piece of paper, but just for the sake of showing you guys, I wanted to do them separately. Alright, easy peasy, just like that. Set those aside. Now, I don't know how big of scraps you guys keep. These are ones I'm kind of borderline would throw away. But for now, I'll set them over there in case I want to use them for this project. If I don't use them by the time this project is done, I'll probably throw them away. Oh, hi Brandy, I see your comment. What are those gray mats? Oh, these are the 13 by 13 mats. So let me show you quick. I love these. Right here. So these are great. There's older versions of these too. These are available now. This is a newer version. I like that I can put my paper in here and I can see the ruler all around. So the older ones, it covered the number, so it kind of stunk. I still have an older mat, I think. I do, look at that. Pull that out and show you guys. This was my older one. I still pull it out from time to time. You can see it's very well used. But this was the older version. Put your paper on it and all the numbers would be covered, so I couldn't really measure anything on there. So I love these mats. You just search 13 by 13 mat in Create a Memory site and it will come right up. They're made for like the cutting system, but I use them all the time, not just for cutting on. So good question. I do love these very much. Okay. So we have our two kind of mats, I would call them, here. And this bottom piece was supposed to be 12 by 3, so I'm probably going to kind of, again on my mat, I'm going to line them up so I can see where I'm at. Here's 3 inches, and so over here it's like the 9 because it goes the opposite way on the other side. So I'm probably going to start this at about the 9, and then about the 3 on this side. So same place, it's just different measurements on each side. So when I go to stick these down, that's how I'll put them, because I want that good 3-inch border for the bottom there like it says on here. I'm just not cutting another piece for that. It looks like its own piece already. So like I said, this page is going to go by so quick. We're going to be done with it in no time. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my tape runner and go ahead and stick these down. See, I like that side too. I just think this kind of clashes with this marble too, but I am learning scrapbook's all about your taste. So what you might like might not be something I like, and that's okay. So that's the beauty of scrapbooking together. You can see what people do. And that's what's cool about like our scrappy camps as well. I usually do them in the summer. I'm doing the winter version, like I said. And everybody posts their challenges in there. So, you know, you get points, so you can win prizes every week. And it's so fun to see what people do with one sketch and how different they each are. Just because we all have our own taste, and I just love that so much. There we go, we got those already stuck down. Alright, now I'm also going to use this brown. I like this side too. So this is the part I haven't fully thought through yet. I think I'm going to mat my photos, like these bigger mats, on brown. And then I might do more the turquoisey look on these smaller ones. So, but I also wanted to do my mountains on here, but that's okay because I have more paper I can also pull out if I need. Like this sheet. Yeah, I have another sheet of this. So I'll probably start by cutting my mats. And this bigger one is 7 3/4 by 6. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out a piece that size. Do my best not to shake the table. I moved my tripod around last week and it usually stays in the same place, and now I put it back and it's leaning up against the table, and I try to be good about not doing that, but this time I did not double check that, so it's okay. So sorry I'm moving it a lot. Okay, 6 inches. I'm trying to think the best way to go about this. So it's going to be 6 inches wide. Put it Perfect. Okay. Just want to make sure I utilize my paper to the best of its ability. And this is also 6 by 4. So I could just cut like this. I might have picked up a little bit there. So that's 6 inches. I'm going to cut this paper. And then we need 7 3/4. So, I'm hoping I'm not thinking through this wrong. I am not a math girl. I've said that before. I think it's okay. I think we're fine. Because the photos will then be 5 1/2. So, okay. So you have one big mat that 2 of your photos are going to go on. So there's our bigger mat. I was hoping to make this one, this 6 by 4. Let's see if that'll work. Yep, we're 6 that way. Can I get 4? Yes, I can. Excellent. So this is going to be my 6 by 4 for this photo. Which I was debating keeping that bigger. Yeah, I can trim it down a little bit. It'll be okay. Alright, so there's my other mat. Throw that piece away. Alright, so I got my 2 mats, and look, I can still punch my mountains out, no problem. Right on there. Although I did want to use the other side for these 2 mats, so maybe I'm going to need 2 mountains, so I might have to bring in another piece. That's okay. So these are 4 1/2 by 3 1/2. So I'm going to trim these at 4 1/2. We want it 4 1/2 tall. And then 3 1/2 and 3 1/2 is 7. So maybe I will try, well, it doesn't really matter. That's okay. Alright, so I'm trimming at 4 1/2. And then another one at 3 1/2. And we'll see. I might go back and do different size mats, but we'll see. I can always save these for another project if I change my mind. My photos are funny because sometimes I have no problem trimming them down, and other times, like, especially with Disney, I'm like, I don't know if I want to trim that out. I want to remember that, but I'm a little, like, too emotionally attached to my photos. It's hilarious. Alright, I don't know if I can get the mountain out of that or not. We'll try it. We'll see if we can get one. Okay, so for now we're going to put our trimmer away. Again, I'm sorry if I'm shaking it. Okay, so this is going to be our mat over here. So I'm covering up our instructions. So it's going to kind of look like this when it's all said and done. And then this mat will go here, like this. And like I said, you do not have to do it the way the sketch says. If you'd rather have this photo up here, great. You know, it just depends what your border is going to be too. So you never have to go exactly by the sketch in my challenges, especially as long as you just get ideas and you post a photo. I give away a prize every week for people that like share their pages. So you can find that in my Ashley Scrappy VIPs if you're not on that page right now. A lot of you probably are. So, all right. Before I stick anything down, I am going to punch out my borders. So let's see if I can make this work. It might be too narrow. A good way to tell is to turn your punch around and see if you can use a narrower piece. I might be able to get away with it. It's gonna be close. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I'm gonna probably scoot this over so I can. Oh goodness. It's gonna be tricky. Let's see what I can do here. I'm gonna get this back in your view here. It looks like it can work. I think we're good. Yay, that'll work. So border punches, you feed it one way and then you have to line it back up over here. So, as you can see, there's this blue outline here. And you're gonna kind of scooch every time you make a punch. And then reline up your paper in the blue outline. Sorry if that's hard to see. But they're very easy to use. When you first get one, you're kind of like, how do I use this? But once you use it and you know all about border punches, they are pretty slick. It's a really cool tool that CM has come out with. And there are tons of different ones. So there's one set of mountains. And like I said, I'm going to go brown, and I'm probably going to snow cap them. We'll see. So I'm going to need another piece of paper, unfortunately, but that's okay. Get rid of my excess there. Alright, let's punch our other mountains. I'll go this way so you guys can hopefully see a little better. So there are these two little black lines on the front first that will show you where to put your paper. Sometimes I just start in the middle because I want my mountains to look different or whatever punch I'm working on. So now I'm going to line this one up on the blue, like so. That way you know exactly where you're punching next, as long as you're lining everything up on the blue. You're filling in the blue with your what's punched out. Sure. I do love border punches so much. I think I'm caught up on something. There we go. That should be our last one. And sometimes you'll have a little piece stuck on there at the end. I just pull it off. It's not a big deal. All right. So there's our other set of mountains. Excellent. All right. Put this away now. Okay. And this one's still attached to the paper. I call that kind of punch an edge punch because it stays attached, whereas a chain punch would come completely off. So if this is an edge punch, I am going to have to cut that off so I can use it on my page, so no big deal. I could do a rough edge, but I think I'm going to stick with the straight edge. And I want it to kind of be the same size as this one, obviously, so let's match up a peak here. Oh, they're opposite ways, that's funny. Okay, that's right, I held it the other way when I did it. I'm just being persnickety, I don't really need to measure this hard. We'll just go as close as we can. Alright, so I'll save this paper for another day. So there's another set of mountains. Alright, now this is the part where I'm like, do I snow cap these? I might do it after I stick them down, just because it'll be harder to stick them down, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Alright. They're going to kind of go in this general vicinity here. And see, like, this is the same brown. I might scoop that up just so there's some separation there. Like so. So it's totally up to you how you do your page. It'll be fine. Part of me is like, maybe I should snow cap them now in case I don't like how it looks. That way I can punch another one. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay. So the Shimmer brush pen. I don't really need to shake it, I guess. When you first start out, I'll show you a new one. I just got a new one. I haven't started yet. If you get one of these, a lot of people are confused how to get them started. So this is a red one. I just got this last week before it sold out. I haven't started it yet, so this is perfect. I love these because it offers so many different options for adding some, color to your page. So you can see there's this black ring on here. Now I'm going to use a white one. This one's already good to go. But when you first get one of these, you're going to essentially unscrew this. And it's a little scary because you're like, what if it all comes apart? But it won't. The paint will not come out until you activate it. So right now there's no paint in here. And on this one you can see the white all up in there. So this one has not been activated yet. So what you're going to do is unscrew your new one and you're going to pull this black ring out and you can just discard that. And then as you screw this back in, it's going to punch a hole, this is where all the ink is, into that, I felt it click thing. And you're just going to kind of lightly squeeze, just very lightly, and you'll see it come out. One time I squeezed and it like shot everywhere, so I'm going to see, and there it is, there's the red coming out. It'll go through these little holes. And I usually try to have a piece of scrap paper to kind of get it primed. And once you do this once, you don't have to do it again. Get all the ink in there. I don't want to do it too hard because I'm afraid. Yeah, so you can see the red starting to seep into the brush now. So there you go. And then depending how hard you squeeze, the more will come out. Once you get it going, you don't have to squeeze very hard to get more ink in there. So I have made the mistake of putting way too much because in fact that's a stain from one of them that I got too carried away on. So that's how you get them going. It's super easy once you know. Like I said, I'm going to use a white, and again, I'm probably going to want my scrap paper available so I don't destroy my map. Okay, so as you can see, the mountains are kind of snow-capped. So I, just for funsies, I wanted to snow cap these. So I don't know if I'll do all of them, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of how to get a little bit of white out of there. So now you gotta prime again. And the white, I will say, comes out clear, and over time it becomes white. It's kind of like the chalk pen. So it's gonna look clear and like, why isn't it white? That's normal. It'll turn white eventually as it dries. So just know the white's gonna come out clear. And I'm gonna do this one a little bit. I just love how this adds just another dynamic to your page. So the brush pens are really fun for that because it's just something different, you know? And as this dries, I might go back and add some more. We'll see. This is the same pen I used on, if you saw my Mickey beignet page, I used this to put the powder on beignets, and it looked really cute. I really liked how it turned out. Alright, we'll let that dry a little bit, see how it turns out. Oh yeah, so you can already see the white starting to show up on the one mountain there. Set it up there. I might want to go a little thicker, we'll see as it dries. So now I'm going to get my other mountains. Oops, took my mat with it. And I'm going to go ahead and put some snow on here too. So, I really do love these little brush pens, and I have them in, I think, every color I've been able to get except for the green. I missed out on the green promo one. So I'm hoping they bring that back eventually. But I just love how these just give you another fun option to, you know, doctor up borders, or, you know, I've done it around edges of mats before. Just really like these a lot. So, like I said, the white goes on clear, dries white. So I usually go through once and then I'll let it dry, and then I'll go back through if I feel like I need more. Okay, so here's our second one. This one, yeah, I think I'm going to want to put a little more on there. It's starting to show up. It does take a little bit of time. So my, oops, look at that, I'm oozing. I squeezed too hard. As I do sometimes with these. I could see people using these as like a stencil, like if you punch something out and then you color on, you know, your page with it, it could be like a cool looking stencil. So there's a bunch of ideas I'm excited to try with these. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm just playing with them more and more every time. So if you guys have used the Shimmer brush pens, go ahead and comment and let me know what you think of them. I'm curious to hear what you've used them for. I'm not really looking at my comments, but I should check those. Oh, well, we're good. Alright, so there's our first one again. And like I said, it'll keep getting more and more white the more it dries. So it's a lot like the chalking pen, this white one is. Go over this one more time. I'm not going to get too crazy here because I don't want it too, I want it more subtle anyway. I don't want it to be like insane white. Just like a little powder look. And this brush pen's really great for the powder look, so, because there's shimmers in there too. And as we keep going with our page, you'll see how it turns more and more white. Oh, see, I'm coming unscrewed. There we go. Definitely don't want to unscrew now. All that ink will come out, so leave it together once you pop the body of it. Perfect. Alright. All you do is you snap the cap on and snap it off. That's all you do. You don't have to turn anything. Alright. So there's our second set of mountains. I think we're good. Set that aside. Alrighty. I'm just going to gently move these over. Oops. Getting the sleeve keeps hitting things. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I like how it looks very much. Okay, so now I'm going to try to decide what I want to do with my photos here. So I'm going to have to trim these down a little bit. This is going to end up being one of the 3x4s. This is going to be a 3x4, I believe. I think that's the one I decided on. This I'm going to have to trim down so it fits that mat. Goodness gracious, this sleeve keeps getting hooked. Alright. think, see these are funny because I have the 4x6 photo and then these are true digital size because this was taken by a photographer with a fancy camera and this was my camera. And I do true digital with mine. So I'm going to have to figure out how I want to layer these, and maybe what I'll do is get strategic. Trim this down a little bit, leave this one shorter than the other, and then like journal under it. I think that's what I'm going to kind of do. Just because when I have two different sizes like this, I like to keep it square as much as I can, but I also don't want to lose too much into one photo for trimming it so much. So I think I'm going to do it that way, where I'll have a little mat around it, do a little journaling here, and then we'll be fine. So, get my photo trimmer, and I'm not going to go too verbatim on this just because, well, this might already be close to 5.5 anyway. The true digital is such a funny size. I was just talking to someone about that today, how it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's not between. It's not like an exact number for the length. So, yeah, true digital is like not even, it's just over 5.25. So I could trim this down to a 5.25, but I also don't want to like cut too much of our feet off or the mountain. So I think I will leave this one the same height, but trim a little bit off the sides to make it that 3.5. So I don't want to goop up my mountains here. I'm really bad about stacking as I work. Like I work on top of my pages. It's super funny. Let's see, what do I want to cut off? Photo trimmer. Alright. I think I'm okay with that. So you're going to hold on the guard. I keep saying that because if you hold on the picture, it's going to shift a little bit. So there's one. Now this one. So I'm supposed to cut down to 5.5, but I don't know if I want to go that far. I'm cutting things off. Maybe let's see how close to the mountain I want to cut first, and then I mean, I'm not like attached to her feet, but I don't want it to look weird either. Okay, fine. That's not bad actually. I took a little from each side. It's fine. Okay, and then 3.5. Let's see. I want to do that. Yeah, that's fine. Cuts more of that weird bridge off. That weird color in there. Perfect. Okay. I'll show you guys. I'll put it back in the frame once I'm done cutting. This one's going to be a 3x4. So this is more of an artsy, obviously an artsy picture. It was on a trail near Everest that we went on, the Maharaja trek, where they had tigers and stuff. It was really fun. So I just like these flags. So I took a picture, a bunch of pictures of these flags. Really cool looking. So I just got to cut these down to 3x4. So we're going to cut 4 this way. I got to see how far I'm willing to go on each side. Meet them halfway there. This way, let's see. Oh yeah, that's fine. Perfect. And then 3x3. Maybe more apt to go this one. Again, we might be going half and half here. It's not like a big deal to cut this one down. It's just all about what you want to focus on. I want to make sure I don't lose focus of this. I want to show in the picture. Yeah, that's fine. And then this one as well, we're going to do 3x4. And obviously I want to keep the mountain in the picture. So that shouldn't be too hard to accomplish here. So 4. Yeah, see, I have no problem cutting all that off. It's just sky and a little bit of flag. The mountain's all still in there. And then the 3. Let's see. That's, go more this way. Perfect. That's perfect. Alright, and then this guy I'll have to trim down a little bit. This also suggests 5.5 by 3.5. Again, we have that weird looking bridge in there, so I might cut that off. 5.5 is going to be this way. So, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem to cut out. Okay, now this is going to be the tricky part, is getting that 3.5 without cutting too much out. Let's see. What would we end up with? Yeah, that's okay. 3.5. I want to keep the mountain. Obviously, that's kind of the point of the picture. But we're still in there too. Nice. Okay. I think I've trimmed them all. Excellent. Throw away my scraps. Excellent. Alright, so here's what we have going on. I like where it's going. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is probably stick down my mats, knowing now what photos are going where. And my mountains, those should be pretty dry by now. And you can see the white showing up more on there. It looks very snowy. I love it. Now the question is, I gotta put a title there. Probably do the title not on camera, just so I don't make you guys sit through me trying to decide what I'm gonna do for a title. And actually I have these cute embellishments I'll probably use, in all honesty. Okay. So, get my silicone mat out here. I think what I'm gonna do is stick my mountains down first. And I have my silicone mats and my repositional tape runner that I'm going to use that for, because repositional only sticks to the paper when you're using a silicone mat. So, it's the beauty of repositional. You can move it around for like a week, not even. I'd say it becomes permanent pretty quick. But for the time being, like in this project right now, I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I put those on crooked, I could pull it up and it'd be fine. But it's also nice because it gets these little dainty areas where you can't necessarily fit an actual tape runner like the regular one. So it's always nice for that. All right. I feel like I use a lot when I do the repositional, just because I like to have those nice and stuck down, obviously. Try to line it up with the page next door, but no, it won't be perfect, and that's okay. Alright. So now I'm going to go back to my regular tape runner, because this is not a dainty piece. But they're right up against there. Actually, maybe I like it this way, because of that weird mark right there. I think I'm going to leave it like this. Perfect. Yeah, and then once I get my photos on, I'll decide how I want that one. Okay. This guy, I'm going to cover up some mountains, I think. That's okay. It doesn't bother me at all. Go ahead and put my photo. Oh, I probably should have done this photo first. That's okay. We will make it work. Yeah, that'll be just fine. I love when a page comes together like this. It's just so fun. Okay, this is where it gets tricky because these are two different heights. So I'm going to plan to center this bigger one. I think it's okay. And then this one I'm going to line up with the top of this photo. So kind of like so. And you gotta decide if I want this one on top of this one. I think I can go under. That's not a big deal. So I didn't fully stick that down yet. And yes, that's right. That's the wrong way for a second. Perfect. Okay. Push it all down. And there we have a pretty awesome Everest page already. All right. And I could add a border up here. On this one, there is a border at the top. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet. So we'll see once I throw embellishments on there what I'm thinking. So maybe I'll do another punch or something. But I just wanted to show you guys quick what embellishments I'm kind of picking out for this. These are all part of Copper Canyon. And unfortunately, you can't get this anywhere as part of the secret box #1. Those secret boxes are pretty awesome, I will say. It's just a lot of fun to see what comes in them. Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I might use this. And sometimes you're like, holy cow, I need more. So there was one that just came out, it was like the retro one. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I don't know how to use it. And then I did our Small World page, the ride at Disney, and it was perfect for that. So I'll have to show you guys that sometime. But yeah, these are all the little embellishments. Not all of them, but a lot of them I picked out. So like even my title could just be like, this so happy, or loving this, or, you know, making this day count. Like there's a lot of options for titles that don't necessarily have to be like Disney or cut out on a cricket, because Creative Memories makes it pretty generic. So it works still. You don't have to worry about, you know, matching things up because they all go together so nicely. So I like this life is full of wonderful adventures too. I might have to, could journal here, but I could also put a title here and journal here. I don't know. We will see. And like I said, I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of this on camera. I will show you guys a picture when I'm done. So that way you don't have to sit through all this. So I like to keep these short and as short as I can. Just walk you through the main process and then let you run with it from there. So I'll probably sign off and then I will share what I finish later on. But yeah, definitely share your pages as well. Like I said, in my Ashley Scrappy VIP group, request to join. If you're not on there, I draw names every Friday morning for whoever did the challenge for the week. You have to post it in the challenge post in the comments so I can find it. And if you did it, I put your name on a drawing, and then I pick one person every week who did that to give them a prize. So it's a way to get pages done and to just keep going, and it just provides some motivation. So make sure you get on there. It's in the featured section of Ashley Scrappy VIPs, not the Ashley Really Creative Memories Advisor. That's my page. You want to get on my group because that's more private. So you have to request. I'll have to approve you, but I'm sure as long as you're legit, you'll be on there. So yeah, I will share later what I do, and I would love to see what you guys do as well. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching this later, let me know that you are replaying it so I know you got to watch it. And I will see you all later. Have a wonderful day.